Welcome to the Rewilding Womb, a space where birth, body wisdom, and feminine power are remembered and reclaimed. I'm Sabrina, an out-of-hospital midwife devoted to physiological birth, deep listening, and protecting the sacred threshold of pregnancy, birth, and postpartum.
And I'm Danielle, a photographer and doula, here to witness, support, and document the raw, transformative journey of being a woman. Together, we're having honest conversations about birth, postpartum, boundaries, and what it means to return to our instincts in a modern world.
This is the Rewilding Womb, where we trust birth, honor the mother, and come home to ourselves.
Welcome back to the Rewilding Womb. Today I'm here with Jay and Autumn. Thank you for being here. They are past clients of mine that I had the honor of documenting their birth. And I wanted to bring them on the show today because we're going to talk about partner support. And as a first-time mom, you decided to have a home birth. So I kind of wanted to go over, let's go ahead and start and jump right into that. What made you think about having a home birth? Like, what are some steps that you took and just doing some investigation or just, checking out like the stats or any data, or what led you to that idea that you wanted to have your sweet baby at home?
Sometimes I wonder what made me do it because I have very little experience in a babies, period,
Uh-huh.
much less birth.
Uh-huh.
So, but when I reflect back on it, I think it is a combination of me and nature. I'm pretty unconventional by nature.
Mhm.
So of course, I'm going to look at other options, like what are all of my options? That's kind of how I shop too.
Yeah.
I go throughout the whole store before I start trying on anything. So that's how I kind of approach this, is like, let me get a full scoop on what this is about. And honestly, YouTube University is what helped me get mothers' experiences.
Mhm.
And I think that is what impacted me the most,
Uh-huh.
was hearing moms who had actually gone through birth, through the hospital and at home,
Uh-huh.
and hearing all the positive stories from women who had had their babies at home. And a lot of them have that duality of where they've had a birth in the hospital and at home. So hearing their perspective was really impactful for me.
Mhm.
And that led me to learning about the Cascade of events. Have you guys heard of that? There's a book
Mhm.
on just like early intervention.
Yes.
And so that was something that I started to dive into. I didn't read the book, but I heard about like different women's experience of like when there was intervention, like inducement early on, how that can kind of create a cascade of events that I don't want personally.
Mhm.
And I just found that midwives were kind of there to help you naturally.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing is the mantra that I took into birth, which was, I was designed to do this.
Mhm.
This is not something that is weird or abnormal that
Mhm.
I'm not designed to do. So with my health and how the pregnancy went, there was no reason for me to feel like I needed to be in a hospital, which I associate with like emergencies.
Mhm.
But it was a process of having to address certain concerns
Mhm.
that other people brought up. I
Mhm.
think the biggest one was, what happens if the cord is wrapped around the neck?
Mm.
That, I mean, is terrifying, because then
Mhm.
they're like, you only have 3 minutes. How close are you to the hospital? And then all these things. And my
Mhm.
mom and my stepdad are both nurses.
Mhm.
So they have like a different tone and perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then that made me really question, like, well, yeah, what happens then? And that's
Mhm.
when we started talking with the midwife.
Mhm. And did you, when you were talking to your midwife, did you interview other midwives, or was that just the one that you felt like you
Mhm.
connected with at that time and she answered a lot of your questions and everything
We
for you?
interviewed 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was over
Mhm.
Zoom with both of them.
Okay.
And then I just went with the one that I connected with a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, but both were great.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I didn't feel like I was making
Uh-huh.
a wrong choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jay, how were you feeling during this time when she was like thinking about having a home birth? What were your thoughts?
It was foreign,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because me and all my siblings were at the hospital.
right.
So it's not something that I ever thought about.
Uh-huh.
When she brought it to me, I was like, one, whatever you feel is most comfortable,
Mhm,
right? Bringing our child into this world,
mhm,
whether that's at the hospital with medication or without,
mm.
or if it's at home raw, just doing it like things and so more of just like supportive, like I want us to have a successful birth
Mhm,
and whatever that looks like.
mhm.
Because like it don't really matter to me whether it's at the hospital or at home. It matters to me the most whether that he's healthy and he's alive and makes it.
Right.
And so just giving her that freedom of expression and freedom she wants to curate,
Mhm,
how to step into motherhood is going to be a new chapter in life.
right.
And so it's like, and with that I come into fatherhood, but I feel like my job and my duty is to protect and serve after, her big mission is complete.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then going back to that mission. I love that. I love that word for birth. Yes. So, what how did you feel while you were laboring at home? Like what were your thoughts? Like you can
Mhm.
just tell me all the things, like the rawness of like what you were feeling in that moment. Because I know we talked about, you've had some predominant labor that
Yeah, 2
lasted a
days.
couple
Yeah.
days. So yeah, like what were you thinking during that time period?
Fear is the first thing that comes to
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Um, but up to that point, I had been, like, really just soaking my mind in positive birth stories.
Mhm,
So I knew going into this, my mindset is and my nervous system is everything.
mhm,
So, although it was painful and I was scared, for the most of it, I was very focused on my mantra. I am designed to give
mhm,
birth.
mhm,
And to also, weirdly, enjoy it and allow my body to do what it is it's meant to do. So, my only job is to relax. My only job is just to feel it and relax and to
mhm.
let my contractions do all the heavy work. I just have to endure it. You
Yeah.
know, I have a high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I know I can do this. So let's just endure it. And then
Uh-huh.
my baby will be here.
Right.
So hypnobirthing was a big part of it. I just had a
Mhm.
YouTube video going the whole time for what, 3 days, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
of this of different things like
The
Sound
singing
baths.
bowls.
yeah, singing
Yes,
bowls
I remember
and
that.
like meditations and affirmations to just
Mhm.
kind of and I just focused on that. So I think like the main feeling
Mm.
I don't know if focus is the right feeling. It was mm,
Surrendering.
surrendering,
Mhm.
just letting go,
Mhm.
um, and then allowing the waves of feelings come and go.
Mhm.
It was painful.
Mhm.
So that's like the main feeling I think is
Yeah.
the pain,
Yeah.
but I think when you surrender, it's like not as bad because pain is a lot in your brain. So reminding yourself, I am safe. I am designed to
Right.
do this. It lets a lot of that pain go.
Right. And that's kind of what I tell my clients too, like that hire me for birth support is like that pain is doing something.
Yeah.
That sensation.
Yeah.
It's like embrace it.
Yeah.
Try as much as you can. But this is your body. This is how strong your body is. And this
Mhm.
body is making this baby like its way out and
Yeah.
into this world, into your arms. So like embracing those waves and those
Yeah.
sensations is definitely something to
It's a
in your
completely
mind. Yeah.
different
Yeah.
experience. I mean, I've never experienced the other,
Yeah.
but you see it on TV, screaming and it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I was screaming, but it was almost like an expression, It
Yeah.
wasn't like, this is so horrible. It was just like, you were screaming with me. That was really fun because it was like, there were people in my house
Mhm.
and I'm just over here in pain.
But you weren't being vocal, like screaming the entire labor,
Mm.
were you?
No,
Just at the end.
it was only when the contractions were like horrible, And it was
Right.
like whenever you scream, it almost allows that pain to go,
Mhm.
So you're not like trying to hold it, you're not trying to fight against it, you're letting it
Yeah.
go out of you.
And I'll say you weren't screaming per se. You were growling. You were like roaring. So
Okay.
that's a little different.
That's
yes.
what I was looking for, because obviously I wasn't your midwife. And so what I describe, I'm like, you don't seem like the type of person that's going to scream all the way through labor. But
I know.
and so after the fact, a lot of women say that I was so loud and screaming. But the way I describe it, and the way I tell the women that I'm supporting through that is there is a lot of power coming through your body. A beautifully designed process that just requires massive amounts of energy and power. And that vocalization is just part of the release.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. When we hear it usually in labor, we're okay, great. This is the wild, wonderful nature of natural birth.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Wild is a great word. It's wild.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it so much, because it's very unpredictable. It's wild. It's authentic. It's there. No one can be fake in that moment.
Yeah.
There is no putting on mask. Everything just like gets exposed
Wow.
in all different ways. And that's what I love about that, because this is like the true human art form in that moment.
Yeah.
Like you cannot, like if you, I mean, there's different, obviously, with emergency medicine and things, like they see people come in that like have like that are in trauma, like they have things happening, like a lot of
Right.
pain associated, but they still numb them. They give them medications, they knock them
That's a
out.
totally
It is a
different
different,
type
yes,
of thing.
it is. But that, again, that is more raw too. That's part of like, that's why a lot of people like neurodivergent, we talk about, like gets into emergency medicine, or they become birth workers, because it's just something that we're drawn to, because it is so pure. And but then the birth is just a whole different level, because this is something that you are, I mean, when you're having a home birth, you're not trying to numb the mom. You want her to experience this process. And so assisting them through that and helping them with like coping skills, or like having them, you did your research and like your hypnobirthing and talking about that too. Like, so some other coping skills that you were doing, like more towards the pushing stages, like what were your thoughts on like where you want to, like when you were getting to that transition?
Yeah.
I remember, but I want you to talk about this. Yeah. So like you were moving about trying to figure out the best spot, the place to be. Cause I remember you were,
Yeah, that was an experience, because I had heard, different experience of women doing different positions. I can't remember exactly the process of getting to where I was, but I remember being on the couch, like with my arms on the couch, one leg up, one knee down.
And a 3-point stance.
Yeah.
And it was comfortable. And like I felt like I was in like control. Like I know like a lot of women like lay backwards and then they push that way. But from what I learned, you really want like standing up helps a lot. And I guess with gravity and just the way you're pushing, it just kind of helps that part. But I just remember being there and then like pushing down. Do you remember how I had to like as I'm pushing, I had to like drop down? I don't know how to describe it, but it helps with the actual birth. And just like movement, I think helps too, not staying still,
Right.
but like using your body to like wiggle him out.
Yeah. And that hands and knees position, and then putting your leg up in that like runner's lunge type position. That is something a lot of women do. What you see like with pushing on your back is actually, I don't see it a lot with natural birth. It's usually that's hospital based stuff, or stuff people, post and take photos and videos of, that see a lot of hospital births. But naturally, women like to move, and I have had actually a lot of moms birth recently standing up. And we've done like some little squats here and there, but they are
Just
comfortable standing, and they'll do like they'll brace themselves in a way and hang on to a bar or hang on to something like a counter. But that has been something that I've noticed a trend with these women that just feel more comfortable doing that. And but like the hands and knees. And then I
think I was too
remember,
tired to
yeah,
stand.
yeah, you were
Like I
working
was,
so
that's what
hard.
got me through it. It was
Mhm.
like, if I give birth tonight,
Mhm.
I get to sleep
Yeah.
because I was so tired. I mean, it was 2 nights of not sleeping
Yeah.
and just like enduring contractions. So I was
Mhm.
exhausted.
Mhm.
And that's what my midwife told me. She's like, you need to rest as much as possible.
Mhm.
Because the reason why a lot of women who have home births, they want to have home births, end up going to hospitals because they get too tired.
Mm.
So I was like, we need to do this tonight.
Yeah.
I need to get through this
Yes.
tonight.
Yes, and he sure did. And then what about the moments when you transitioned from that runner's lunge, like, like you were hands and knees, and I remember your midwife got behind
Mm,
you.
that was the best moment.
Yes.
That was the best moment.
Mhm.
I mean, oh my gosh. Baby in my arms.
Yeah.
I'm resting now.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Mhm.
And my baby was in my arms.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
I remember Jay's expression. You were so sweet. You were right there next to him. You were just like,
Yeah,
your face was just so sweet.
Yeah, it was wild.
In complete awe, like, whoa, what just happened?
I've never been that close to a delivery. Besides being the delivery. And Robin was like, yo, you gotta catch your baby. I was like, what does that mean? Like, how fast is it coming?
Yeah.
And so I get down there and like pull it, and I was just like, wow. It's game changing.
Yeah. What were
And
you
I don't know if that would have happened in the hospital or not.
Mhm.
Maybe the doctor would have, did all the pulling, but like I was scared, dude.
Mhm.
Like I was in awe. I was scared. I was like, I didn't know. I'm like, he has like this little bald spot on his head, and like I don't think I've ever told you this. I don't know. But here's a podcast confession. When he was coming out, the crown he was crowning, and it looked like he was covered in blood, so it looked like a little eyeball. And I was like, "What is that?" And Robin was like, "It's your son." I was like, "Okay, all right, we got this."
I love that.
Says that to me.
Yeah, there it is. Now you guys
It
can
was just
hear
a
it
little
first.
fold of the skin or
No,
something
he
that-
still has it today.
Mm.
It's just like a
like
little,
a birthmark.
yeah, his hair doesn't grow through it or anything.
Ah.
It's just a little mark on his head. He has a couple birthmarks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure,
That's funny.
but that's hilarious.
I can just imagine though, because I've seen so many of those first time dads and the expression on their face as the baby is emerging is just utter awe
Yeah.
and amazement and joy
Yeah.
and just beauty. It's
Mhm.
birthing a child, and here's Sebastian over here grinning like crazy because he knows he's felt it, and just it's just crazy because it's the most empowering thing a human body can do, the most
Mhm.
amazing thing a human body can do. And I remember this way back when I had my first vaginal birth in the hospital, and they had set up the mirror for me to be able to witness it. And it's my
Wow.
body doing it, but I'm watching it on the mirror, and I had that same expression and feeling of, I can't believe my body's doing this.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, is that really me? And that's my baby.
Mm.
And it's just really it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really very I don't think there are words to describe
Yes.
what you witness when you witness the emergence of your child. And you've just watched your wife go through this really crazy, wild thing, and then there's your child. And
There it is.
it's
Yeah.
just such a like emotional overwhelm.
Yeah.
Hmm
No words for it.
Jay, going back to your support during that time too.
He's like, it's taking me back. I'm going back right now.
Yeah.
Going back to what were some things that you did that you kept yourself occupied with, or just trying to like some words that you can give to some dads listening or some men listening right now trying to support their partners, some things that they can take and like write down and be like, hey, I'm gonna look into this.
Yeah, as I feel like as a father, as a dad, and this is just my perspective, but I think it's your job to be calm.
Mhm.
It's your job to not problem solve, not to overwhelm or try and do too much, but to be calm and available. like, you know, when she texted me and I was at the gym and she was like, "I think I'm having a baby." I was like, "That's crazy." I was like, "But I'll be home soon." I was like, "I'm
Yeah.
coming now." I was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah.
And so, like, one, if you're prepped and you know what you wanna do and how she wants to have the baby, like, she had the bouncy ball, had uh, the YouTube with the, hypnobirthing, and, you know, I was drawing the bath, so it was actually strange stepping into a supportive role where I don't have to solve the problem or really do anything, and that's what, like, reflecting on it, I'm thinking it was my job to stay calm, and I was like, "Okay." So, breathing, right?
Yeah.
Breathing, deep breathing, regulating my nervous system because 'cause I'm watching someone that I love pain in my eyes. That's all I see. I don't see, like, in the moment, you don't see the joy, the feel good, the happy. You just see, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I get it. So,
Yeah.
like, it's the point of me, like, just being able to stay calm and be supportive and know that, "Hey, Jay, it's not your job to fix this, it's your job to embrace this."
Yes. That is definitely the key right there, I feel like. And that's what I tell a lot of like dads too, like talk to them about that because they do, guys, when they see their women in pain like that, they kind of like they just want to help and fix it and like make her be feel good.
Yeah.
But then that nervous system kicks in and then she starts getting anxious because
Mhm.
now she's starting to wanting to make sure he's okay.
Mhm.
So it takes away from her experience and her trying to get into, you know, her body. And so, yeah, that's definitely something
Yeah.
to, you know,
And, like,
talk about. Mhm.
helping creating a calming and relaxing environment for your partner as you go
Yeah.
through this, you know, like, our dog was going crazy because my dog seeing her go through pain and yelling and
Australian Shepherd
yeah,
is
and so,
very strongly bonded to me.
you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
and so I had to call my friend, I'm like, "Hey, come get the dog," you
Mhm.
know, call so we had people coming in and out of the house, but, like, as I'm
Uh-huh.
regulating, trying to keep the environment calm and embrace what is going on for the next 3
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to chime in because from my perspective, he was coming with like chopped up fruit because my
Mhm.
midwife was like, "You need to eat, you need to like keep your energy up." I did not want to eat like at
Mhm.
all.
Mhm.
But he would come like I would say like very frequently. He was coming in and just offering things. And then he drew the bath for me. I just doing little things like that do go a long way. Not in a like I need to fix you, but here's like an offer of something. And then every night, because we thought the baby was coming every night, right? We went through like 50 little candles, those
Mhm.
little
Yeah, tea lights.
tea
Yeah.
light candles. So every night he was lighting them to like create this ambiance. He had to go back to the store and get more because he didn't come the first night, he didn't come the second night, he came the third night. So by the third night when he actually came, we like didn't have any candles. So yeah, just knowing like what your woman wants, how she wants it to feel, because your environment can really help create a sense of calm.
And I think a big one is knowing how you operate under pressure too. Like for me, I'm naturally a connector and solver.
Mhm.
And so when pressure rises, I try to connect with the person and solve the problem.
Mhm.
That's who I am naturally under pressure. But having that plan with her and knowing what she wanted,
Mhm.
right? I couldn't interject anything that I thought might fix. I'm like, let me serve,
Mhm.
right? As her partner, as the man, as the father, serve my family the best way that I can, even though if I think that I may have a different opinion,
Mhm.
but it's not about me in this moment. It's about her child.
Mhm. Good. And then, like, moving forward to a postpartum
Mhm.
too, because that's, like, something I wanna touch on a little bit as well. The postpartum support, like, period. So after you had him and everything, your experience shortly after that, having a home birth, how was that different, like, than what you've seen before or have talked to your friends about, like, their experiences in the hospital and coming home?
Honestly, I had no exposure. I was the first of my family, of all my siblings and all my friends.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I had no exposure. I was, like,
No
really
instruction
we were
manual.
really figuring it I didn't even know how to put a diaper on him. He showed me how to do that. I didn't even practice beforehand, so I don't know, it was, like, one night at a time.
It was wild. like, and that I think that's the part that like really blows my mind the most. Like birth, everybody goes through it. Everybody has it, you know, whether if it's at home or if it's in the hospital. But like the fact after the baby came and that's like really set in where we looked at each other, we're like, yo, we're parents now.
When everyone
Like,
left, it was like,
yo, like when it's quiet, when there's no more screaming, when
Yeah.
everybody left, there's no instruction manual in there. And then like the midwife was like, all right, we'll see you guys in a couple days for a little checkup. And I was like, so what do we do with this?
yeah, we had to like look up how to wrap the baby, like how to swaddle the baby.
Yeah, I mean, granted, take some classes if it's your first time. We were just rocking, like we were just like we'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah,
Like,
we
and I've
did.
helped raise my niece and my little sister, so it's like, cool. I got the basics.
Yeah, he had more experience than me.
The basics. So I was like, great. But the biggest like sobering moment was the moment that everybody like the door shut and everybody left, and then we look at each other like, we got a baby. Like we've prepped 9 months for this, and now it's here. There's no instruction manual. Nobody told like nothing. It's just like, cool, you're here now.
Yeah, there's so many things I just didn't know was gonna happen. Like waking up and my boobs were just like so full. I was like, why am I in so much pain? And like not like you just even if you don't know everything going into it, you figure it out one step at a time.
Take a class. Like we didn't take a single parenting
Yeah, I
class.
tried and then I like went to the wrong spot and then I was just like very like discouraged. I don't know. The support, honestly, like he has 2 family members in town. My family's in St. Louis. So I really feel like it was me and him. Really, that's it. And like really just in the past couple years, I feel like I've learned how to ask for help and learned like how important it is to have a village. I'm very independent, very introverted. And so asking for help and inviting people, like I didn't really want like my family there when I was giving birth. I just wanted to be me and Jay and then my crew that are going to help me actually get through it. So postpartum was very like figuring it out by myself with Jay one night at a time as problems came up.
Yeah. What is something that kind of sticks with you in your mind about your postpartum period? Something that was kind of difficult that you can speak on?
Already feeling emotional.
Yeah.
Silly. Just feeding him. Breastfeeding. That's what I wanted to do. I knew it's what was best. It's what I wanted to do, but it was still so hard to be all of that. And to make bottles requires pumping. And we wanted to go on a trip. So I had to like pump a lot of milk in order to make that happen. Just so exhausted. And I just remember like sitting at the sink cleaning all the bottles, you know? It's just like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. It's my postpartum, I just remember being like so tired from feeding him. But the duality, the weird thing is like it's the greatest thing in the world. So it's like I don't think I really acknowledge my postpartum in real time. I definitely didn't communicate, I don't think. No, it's all blur to him because like I was so in love with my child. You know, like the love surpasses all the hardships. But I feel like after 2 years and really reflecting on it, I was like, man, yeah, that was really hard. And so as soon as you started asking me that question, I just remember like those moments being at the sink, cleaning the bottles for the 8th time that day or whatever. Yeah, that was hard.
That I feel like I can relate a lot to that too, especially with my first. You know, it's a huge shock, a huge change. And when you don't have immediate family, like you had Jay, but if you don't have immediate family and people coming in, it's like you're alone. There's this period of aloneness. And like, I think you and I both love to connect with people, you know, yeah, we can introverted and whatnot, but we still want that person.
Yeah.
And when we are just alone with our children, it's like doing the things on repeat over and over and over again. And like, are you doing this right? is this okay? All the questions and things in your head that you're, thinking about, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very overwhelming.
Mhm.
And yeah,
I don't even think I realized how much I needed connection in that time,
yeah.
you know? And like I kind of said earlier, it was really hard for me to ask for help. I didn't want to invite people because when I'm hosting, I feel like I don't know how to be served. I don't know how to be
Mhm.
supported. So when people come over, I usually overextend myself and kind of neglect myself to
Uh-huh.
take care of them. And I feel like that's partly what a host does is you make sure
Mhm.
your people are okay. So I didn't know how to bring people into my space and I didn't really have that huge desire to do so. I didn't know what I needed. And I think a lot of women don't know what they need. So they don't know what to ask for, you know?
Right. Right.
But a lot of my family did cook. Like we got a lot of meals. And that was a huge thing I didn't realize was so helpful. Like eating just a really good home cooked meal from my aunts was oh, so heartwarming.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you had that. Yeah, like, it's just, like, but even, like, having that space, like, of someone coming into the house and just sitting
Mm.
and just being present with you
Mhm.
and say, "Man, this is rough." Yeah, and, like, just, like, but it's also, like, the people that are just able to pick up and, like, do a small acts of service
Mhm.
and not having to tell them to do
Mm.
something, because
Mhm.
I appreciate that so much. Like, telling you to do something just adds another task to my mental load. And so when someone just can pick up what needs to be done by
Mhm.
observing, that is like my love language.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't know at the time when I had my first baby, that's what I wanted and that's what I needed. And even after my second, because after my second, that's when I had postpartum depression. But because it hit really hard then, because I was in a new environment, new place, no friends, no family. It was really rough. But so I can relate a lot to that because I thrive on that connection, but I just didn't know how to say it.
Mhm.
And so now, like, look, in just 3 years, how much you've learned about that. And yeah. So, I mean, knowing your boundaries, knowing how to communicate and be like, I am no longer going to people please.
Mm.
Hey, if you're going to be here, this is what needs to be done, or this is what I would appreciate. So, and I don't want to say it again, like kind of thing, like, and it makes
Yeah.
you feel like a bad person in a way. Like something when I was trying to put those
Mhm.
boundaries up for other people, like, I'm like, am I being mean? Am I being bad? Because I will have some people that aren't used to me doing that. They will say something to me like, oh, what's wrong with you? You're in a mood. And
Mhm.
then that will be like, okay, am I losing connection with this person now?
Right.
Like, see, so
Right.
like
Because
it's
you're not pleasing
pleasing
them.
them. So, we've had episodes we talked about that too. It's definitely the whole boundary thing and like childhood traumas or just like growing up in environments where, it felt safe to people please because you were afraid to lose that connection with that person. And then some people don't necessarily need that. Like creates a more avoidant personality, but, like, they're like, "Yeah, I don't need you," kinda
Mm.
thing, but, like, deep down,
Yeah,
they
I
want people,
definitely I
but
definitely tend to, I don't know. I am on that side. I'm pretty avoidant.
Yeah,
Um yeah.
That's me
I
because I
I
would
want
so
it.
rather just do it alone than
Mhm,
have drama surrounding me asking somebody.
right,
So,
yeah,
Mhm.
I never had any support after any baby I
yeah,
ever had, not
yeah,
one.
yeah,
And so that's why we do it differently for my children.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Very much,
yes,
very, very just
Mhm.
total opposite because it's so normal, especially having your first baby, that you don't know how to clearly say, this is a need that I have right now. And like you said, it took at least 2 years to come out of the fog
Mhm.
of, whoa, I
Mhm.
carried all that burden pretty
Yeah.
much alone because I didn't even know how to tell my partner what I needed.
Mhm. And when
And
you're so focused on the baby that needs
surviving.
you,
Yeah. And like you said,
not
you just love
you.
your baby so much. It's
Yeah.
like my emotions don't matter because I have this beautiful gift right here that I
Mhm.
have.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, or again, someone who needs you. So
mhm,
it's like
mhm,
it's really hard to focus on my needs when I'm so focused on his needs. He's crying. He's hungry. He needs to sleep. He needs a diaper change. What do I need? I need a shower. But I haven't thought about that in 3 days.
mhm,
Yeah.
I think that's very typical though.
right. And then, Jay, did you go back to work pretty quickly afterwards, or when did you go back to
Yo,
work?
yeah, that was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was, I guess, divine timing.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually took a year and a half off work
Wow.
yeah, I know it's I pull from 401k and everything, and I was like, when I'm in the car business, my days are long. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been in the car business almost 13 years now,
Okay.
and so I'm used to that, right? But I'm like, I will miss so much of my son's life if I don't take that break.
Mm-hmm.
One, granted, I also wanted to build my business and continue to do what I'm doing. Um, and really get in a place of where that can operate by itself. I can go back to work. So I was blessed enough to take a year and a half off work and spend that first year and a half with her son
Yeah.
and not worry about money,
Right.
Mhm.
just because of the decisions that I made
Mm-hmm.
years before we even figured out, that we were going to do this. But I kind of looked up one day and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
I probably got enough that I could take a year and a half off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was a blessing. So
Yeah.
I was there the first year and a half of his life
Mhm.
with him at home.
And then her stepping into motherhood.
Yeah.
How did that look like to you? Like when you saw her go through all the things, the changes in
Mhm.
breastfeeding and her postpartum body, everything, like what were you thinking during that time?
Growth is a beautiful thing, but it's extremely painful,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched her physically grieve a version of herself that she used to be
Mm-hmm.
in order to embrace a new version that she's stepping into.
Mm-hmm.
And with that new version comes new responsibilities, new weights, new thoughts, new patterns that she has to develop.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at it from like, okay, is this from an Autumn perspective or is this from a mother's perspective?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really watching her just grieve that version of her that she knew, that she built, that she's no, like there's just a part of her that she had to like let go,
Mm-hmm.
right? And same on the father side, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was growth in all areas: mind, body, soul, intimate relationships, networking relationships, even in her business and finance, how she did business like
Mhm.
change because she has a baby stepping into motherhood. So it was really just being able to see how she navigated growth and being able to support her through that. Because I think, and we're all in different seasons of life.
Mhm.
I mean, our life is changing every 90 days if we really think about it. And just watching her transform into a version of a mother that she wanted to be at that time
Mhm.
was quite beautiful. But like I said, growth is extremely painful when you're
Mhm.
shedding. So,
Yeah. And that's why we're going to talk a little bit about the photography side of things, but like that's one reason why I love documenting that raw time
Mm.
period of postpartum. And a lot of women are like, "Oh, you want to document that?" I'm like, "Of course I do."
Mm.
Because it's something that you'll reflect back on and you'd want to look back on later on. Because years go by and you're like, that time period, it's like a blur. And you're like, I don't remember. Like, it's almost like dissociating and everything. Like, you're just like
Yeah.
so tired and, trying to get through life day by day. And being able to bring a photographer in and document that time where your body has gone through so much work and documenting all the different things that have stretched and changed and you're breastfeeding or nursing or skin to skin with your baby and all those little small details. Even like just day-to-day life, like if you had with people that had taught like little ones at home too with a brand new baby, like they
Yeah.
have a toddler running around the house and just like the chaos that emerges from that. But I want to document that time period
Yeah.
because you're holding your baby on your hip or, nursing your baby at the sink and you have your
Yeah.
toddler grabbing at your pants. Like different moments like that, I find just it's so beautiful. But at the time I know it feels like it's a lot. It's overwhelming. You're overstimulated.
Mhm.
But I wish I would have had those moments
Mm.
because I'm like, I just want to see the expression of my toddler's face or just the small little details that mean so much about what is happening in your
Mhm.
life at that moment and how much you're growing and
Mhm.
what is evolving
Yeah.
of,
And how
that
strong you
person.
are
Yes.
when you're able to cook
Right.
for the family,
Feed,
holding a baby,
feeding
and then you
them.
have a toddler
Yes.
running around. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love to highlight that moment
Mhm.
and that strength that women can look back on and be like, I did that. Look at these images. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
this is wild.
Yeah.
Makes them feel so much better. And because
Mhm.
I just, like I said, I wish I could reflect back and look at images of myself with my girls. Like, don't have any. So it's
Yeah.
something I want to give to other people.
And it's very different from like family portraits.
Yeah.
It's like truth.
Yeah.
It's authentic
Yeah.
motherhood
Yeah.
of like what it looked like for you personally in your home.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're 50 years old, yeah, you could look at those family portraits at the park that you visit once
Yeah.
or twice a year, or the home where you raised them,
Yeah.
where you lived every single day.
Right.
Yeah.
Their little fingerprints on
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be there
It's
forever.
temporary.
Yeah. And so going back into documentation, so what made you guys want to have a birth photographer at your birth?
Well,
What were
I think
you?
it was my idea.
yeah, it
Yeah?
was not something we like were like, yeah, let's have a photographer. It was because of your connection at work that
Well, yeah. So I went to school for broadcast journalism. I love documenting. I love people's stories. I love storytelling.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I was just talking to one of my coworkers, and I was like, "Yeah, I think she wants to have a home birth." He was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, I know somebody who films those." I was like, "You're crazy, dude." I was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm like, no."
Yeah.
I was like, "What, bro? I'm gonna be crying." I was like, "Oh, shit." And then he actually showed me his video of Laura,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh, that's dope. Okay, that's dope. That's way better than like a picture or something
Yeah.
that you have." You know, I could sit down with Kai and actually show him this video and be like, "Yo, this is what you took your mother through. So be nice to her, okay?" It is, and you know, we kind of just explored the idea. And I was like, "Hey, maybe you should talk. Maybe you should talk to her and see what that looks like. See what her work looks like." And, you know, I love documenting
Yeah.
everything in life. You know, hearing different stories, hearing people's stories. Ever since I was a young kid. So even to think about that, like I don't remember much from my childhood. Like I don't. And you know, I have my birth story from what my mom told me. According to my mom, she was on the toilet and her water broke, and when she went to the hospital, and like, and I was like, cool, right? But now I can actually relive that with our family and say, like, yo, this is, you know, what your birth looked like. This is young parents. This was the transition, and with the values that we've built our family on.
Yeah.
It's good to look at those things and reflect and see how we've grown from that moment as parents to who we are now.
Absolutely. See, that's what I love. Like looking back. Do you guys still kind of go back to those images and watch the video? Has Kai watched?
Yo, honestly, don't be mad at me. We ain't watched the videos.
yes, we have.
Have we?
Yes,
Have
we
we?
have. We
Because
watched.
I remember a while there because you weren't watching it. You haven't watched it yet.
Yes,
It was a
it
while.
was around his first year, like his
1
his
year.
1 year his when he turned 1.
His first birthday.
His first birthday. We're like, I just don't think I was ready. Like, and you talk about this in your messaging, like on Instagram, like the way that women's bodies are displayed in society is radically different from our purpose, right? And so you posted like 10 photos of, you know, birth and like the different things. And I was like, yeah, like it's so true. And as a woman who's gone through this experience and is like, and I know how awesome it is, but seeing these images, it's so, you're really the only person that is in my sphere doing that. So like seeing it makes me uncomfortable. Seeing myself, I was not ready to see myself in the raw, in the full expression of that. It took me a year. And then we haven't watched it since.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one of my favorite photos, honestly, is the photo you took outside of the bathroom when our 2 midwives were like sitting there. They're like looking at like maybe timers or something. And Bear, our dog, is like looking into. It's just like this beautiful, like, you wouldn't know it unless you know what was going on in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that one too. My goodness. And how did it feel like? Because I know a lot of people ask this same question with having a birth photographer present. How did it feel like with me there?
Oh, so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I tell people all the time that you have doula services. I didn't add that on.
Yeah.
but you were still there. Like, I remember I was closing my eyes a lot, and I would
She
just
can't
hear your
turn it off.
voice.
She
Yeah,
can't turn
I
it
could
off.
imagine. And you, like, gave me this little tool to, like, and you, like, told me, like, to squeeze it. It was like a little brush or something, a little comb. Yeah. So, like, you gave me that, and I just remember, like, hearing your, like, soft voice. And, yeah, it was very comfortable. I think I was maybe a little nervous about having, but we had talked beforehand, like, we went and got dinner, and I definitely felt very, like, comfortable with you, and we resonated a lot together. So I think that's important
It is.
before you obviously enter into the home, and just like who you are as a person is very like warm
No.
and easy to be around. So yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
effortless to have you there.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved connecting with you and documenting and just kind of like let's talk from my perspective of your birth and how beautiful. Like I am amazed every single time there's a first time mom, like especially home birthing. Like I am amazed by you all. Like and like what you the everything that you put into like manifested and like worked towards to have that home birth because I look back at myself I'm like man I had to do a lot of work to get where I am today to get to my thought process and these younger generations you're talking about this are doing the work they are advocating for themselves they are doing the research and I'm like also having that connection of social media being
Yeah.
able to see these videos and posts and podcasts and things to help them. Of course, like, my oldest is 15 now, so, we didn't have that then yet. Like, it
Right.
was just starting to kinda get out, and that's when I felt like I wanted to start doing this as
Yeah.
my profession as well, is because I felt like this is what is needed, and so it kinda just blew up from there,
Yeah.
and I love that, and so, yeah, I just appreciate everything that, you allowed me to document. Your birth is definitely one of those stories that just stay with me. And yes, I love that so much.
Yeah, I think your work is very important.
Yeah.
Like social media, it had its thing, but even with that, it takes work for people to feel comfortable to share their experiences. It
Mhm.
takes time, it takes equipment,
Mhm.
it takes time, like to come here, coordinate together, and then to edit and put it out there.
Mhm.
Right? Like
Yes.
it takes a lot in order for experiences to be broadcasted.
Mhm.
Um, it's very important. Like, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't know that other women did it because no one in my circle had done it. And like I said, I had no exposure to
Mhm.
childbirth. So I probably would have just done what my mom did,
Mhm.
But now we have the ability to hear other people's experiences and it's giving us options.
Yeah, absolutely.
It, I just want to mention about Danielle specifically because there's a lot of birth photographers
Mhm.
in the area. There are just sometimes what we see a lot is that women want to get into birth work because they think it's something cool and glamorous, and they
Mhm.
think
Mm.
they have this because they see like what people put out there, and they think that's all there is to it.
Mhm.
And so I've worked with a lot of birth photographers,
Mhm.
and I tell everybody, just call Danielle because it really does make a difference when your birth photographer can come into a room and do exactly what I tell my team to do. You are a fly on the wall. This is not about you at all. It is only about this woman, her partner, this experience for them. And Danielle does that really well, where she'll just come in, she'll be that fly on the wall, but she is documenting everything.
Mhm.
And she can take those images and the little snippets of video and turn it into a beautiful story
Mhm.
that's very empowering. And she does it with no lights. She does it
Right.
with no other equipment other than her camera. And it's a beautiful thing because I've seen other birth photographers come in and they try to make it about them. They have to set up lights, they have to do this. Like, go over there and be in this. And they want certain angles. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
just document, capture what you're seeing.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
not about setup or anything.
Yeah.
And she just does it really, really well.
Yeah,
So
that's a
it's
good
beautiful.
point because I think if you're a photographer where you set people up, it's almost like ingrained in you. So if you don't have, number one, the experience of having a birth yourself, you
Mhm.
may not know
Yeah.
the experience, and then
Mhm.
you just kind of bring in your habits. Yeah, I would hate to be posed.
Yeah, it's just really frustrating when me as a midwife, you see the images that need to be captured,
Mhm.
and then if the birth photographer is not capturing those things, it's so frustrating on my end about why was that not captured? That was like a really important part of this whole process. You didn't get that expression on that face? Like,
Yeah.
what are you here for?
Yeah.
So anyway, she's just the best at what she does.
Aw.
And we are really, really privileged here in Central
Mhm.
Missouri to have her
Yeah.
here
Seriously.
because she really is the best
Yeah.
at what I've seen. And I've worked
Yeah.
with at least 5 or 6 other birth photographers. And
Oh.
so the documentation side is, I love that you suggested it after you saw it. It's interesting that you watched a coworker's video and were like, yeah, we're doing that. And then you guys didn't even watch your own video for a year. That's so crazy to me. But I totally do understand the whole, we lived this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't
Uh-huh.
need the video
It
to
took a
remind
year
us.
to shake off those nerves.
Yeah, I didn't need to. I mean, when you're in the midst of raising a baby, that's priority.
Yeah.
And like we were in the moment where we're like, let's relive that moment.
Yeah.
But when his first
Miss that
birthday,
night.
yeah, when his first birthday came around, it was kind of like, okay, like a natural reflective moment. So
Mhm.
I definitely felt like I needed to like brace myself. I was a little nervous. Like we sat down on the couch. I was like, okay, here we go. What did I look like?
What did you think of the moment
It
you
was
watched
it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yes.
Been 3 years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 since we watched it.
Oh, right. 3
Mhm.
years since the event.
So out of my 3 daughters that have had children, only one of them we had Danielle come for.
Mm.
And she kind of had the same feeling where she let me and her 2 sisters watch it, or her 3 sisters watch it, and she didn't want to watch it. She's like, I can't watch that. That's just. And then when she finally sat down and watched the video, at first she had even told you, she said, you're not sharing it.
Right,
I
right.
don't, it's going to be private just for
Yeah.
me. And we encouraged her so strongly. This is empowering. You need to let this story be told.
Yeah.
And so she sat with it for a few weeks and she finally was like, okay, all right. And this is a girl who was born out of the hospital. This is a girl who watched her sister, been around her sisters having babies and birth itself. And she even kind of had that feeling of, I don't know, that's a lot, that's intense.
Yeah.
Eventually she came around and now her
Yeah.
story is out there. But it's
Yeah.
understandable that you are in the most vulnerable state, like you guys talked about earlier, the most raw,
Mhm.
authentic, all curtains down
Yeah.
Mhm.
state. And that's kind of a scary place to be
Yeah.
for the whole world to see, or
Yeah.
even for yourself to have to look back on.
Mhm.
And as the years pass, you'll look back on it with confidence.
Yeah.
But that might take a while,
Mhm. Yeah.
You'll definitely start reviewing it more when you are approaching maybe having another child down the road. You'll review it and be
Take
like,
notes.
okay, I did this once, I
Take
can do it
notes.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To your point about the vulnerability, like it's so cool how it is so vulnerable, but at the same time, it's like your most vulnerable, yet your most powerful moment. And I love that duality.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have not shared my story publicly
Mhm.
because it's very vulnerable. I understand.
Yeah.
And it's okay for you to keep that to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
That's totally okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I agree. I have lots of moms that do the same thing.
Yeah.
Families that just keep that story to themselves, but they will chime in and message me every now and then and
Yeah.
just reflect back, or they'll look at images again and then they text me and be like, "Oh, I'm just like going through the images
Yeah.
again and thinking of you and thanking you for, capturing all these moments." And there's a time and place. And maybe, like I said, after, if you decide to have a second,
Right.
child, then you're going to be like, man, I really want this to get out there for other
Mhm.
people to see.
Yeah.
It might spark something.
Yeah.
Because I know how that is too, because I am a more private person myself. And here I am, like I live through my clients. Like
Yeah.
I am a private person,
Mm.
but you don't see me online. doing
Right.
what I am asking my clients,
Yeah.
what I want to capture of
Yeah.
them.
That's really cool though.
hmm And so, but they have helped me
Mm.
shed that type of, I guess you would say, uh, be myself more
Yeah.
with people, be
Yeah.
more authentic. I've always been authentic, but like more so like be appreciative
Mm.
of just my body
Mm.
or my voice, like doing this right now. You know,
Yeah.
it was very nerve wracking for
Yeah.
me to start talking on a podcast and like I don't do that.
Yeah.
Like you hardly see my face on social media. Like I don't even show like little videos on Instagram or Facebook, and I have like a huge following, and people are
Yeah.
like, "Who is this
Yeah.
person?"
Yeah.
Like posting these pictures and stuff. I don't do it. I don't
Mhm.
take pictures of myself. But here
Yeah.
I am, like, let me take all the photos of you. Let me
Yeah.
showcase you because
Mhm.
it's just that's where my light shines.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the mamas are my muses.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
it's just part of being an artist, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful way
Mhm.
to turn pain into purpose, you know,
Mhm.
um, and actually serving the person that you used to be, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody who wants to tell their story, wants to see this, wants to experience this, wants to relive this,
Right.
but doesn't have the resources or the tools or the talent or the eye to do it, right? And then you're able to take that pain and actually formulate it into purpose to inspire other people to get those stories out there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had before I started my podcast, I had a blog called um, Real People, Raw Stories. And so I would just interview random people and just be like, what's the most exciting thing in your life? What's the most challenging thing in your life? Why are you here? Like, you know, just asking the tough questions. And then from what you do and what you brought into our lives, we're able to, you know, a lot of people look at, and maybe I'm just talking for myself. Here's my own perspective. But it, you know, childbirth is painful. People want to keep their pain to themselves, right? If you get cut on your leg and I get cut on my arm, which one hurts more? They both hurt. It's both pain,
Mhm.
right? It just depends on what we do with that pain and how we repurpose that and how we tell that story of how that cut happened and how we bandage it up,
Mhm.
right? And so people look at childbirth, and you know, I would imagine that most women are scared to be in that position, right? They're scared to be in a hospital laying on their back or in their living room in a 3-point stance, like they're about to get
Yeah.
a snap from the
Yeah.
football and delivering a baby. But it's about repurposing that pain and turning it into a place of purpose and
Mhm.
alignment for somebody to live off of, for somebody to learn from. So I just think it's amazing what you do. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
And to that point, I'm literally jumping on a call today with someone who knows I had a home birth. It's
Uh-huh.
her first, Alexis.
Mhm.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're exploring it because they know I've done it. And so I get to share my story with her and like just empower another woman to do it and to believe in herself. So
I
yeah,
love that so
it's really
much.
cool. There's so many ripples
Yes.
to it.
Yeah.
So my question is, somebody ever flown you out yet to
Ooh.
do childbirth, you know, different state, overnight, you
Mhm.
stay, what, 3 days with somebody or something like that? I don't
Yeah.
know. Is that
There has
happened yet?
been a couple offers.
Yeah.
It's just in that period of my life right now. I
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
As soon as she's ready, I'm taking.
I was like, that's
That
dope.
would be,
Because
yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
when you think about like, you know, one,
Mhm.
I have this weird thought. I'm like, somebody's being born every single day,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right? Because birthdays are
Like
every
every
day.
minute of
Yeah.
every
Every
day.
somebody's being born every single day, right? And so there's just so many births, so many things that are going on.
Yes.
And as you continue to grow, as your business continues to
Yes.
grow, the more people that you work with, the more people that you help deliver babies,
Right.
right? I think not only Central Missouri,
Yeah.
but you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
countrywide. That'd be
Definitely.
really dope.
Sabrina and I have talked about this and what my vision is for this. I'm manifesting it. It will
Yeah.
come when the time comes, but I feel like it's going to be quite soon.
Mm.
Just because there's different signs that I'm getting in
Yeah.
different ways.
Yeah. That's so.
It's so funny. I always
Yeah.
hashtag Nat Geo
Mhm.
because I would love to do a story on a birth around the world
Yeah.
and in different places that I can go and document in video and photography and have different types of like areas that how they birth as long as I'm welcomed into that environment, of course,
Yeah.
because I know a
That's
lot
so.
of it's very sacred for a lot of areas, but even like certain villages
Yeah.
or just the way they handle birth and then the immediate postpartum,
Yeah.
like different celebrations or things that they do, rituals
Mm.
that I would love to document and showcase how different birth looks all around the world,
Mm.
that not just America.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that would be
Full
so
body
Nat
chills.
Geo. No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Seriously.
Mhm.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you're you're the talent. Like, you've got it.
Yeah, I really would love to do that. And so, but I have had people reach out to me in countries, like other countries, that it's just, yeah, right now in this time, like, and that's okay because I
Mhm.
feel, like I said, it's coming soon
Yeah.
and I'm working towards that.
Yeah.
One thing that like
Mhm.
really like solidified the decision for like me uh as a father, as a husband, as a partner, you
Mhm.
know, um is that like she was like, you know, people have had births since the beginning of time.
Mhm.
And hospitals haven't been around since the beginning of time,
Mhm.
but childbirth has.
Mhm.
And so when you really think about the natural order and natural flow of things, it's like, oh, dope. Yeah, we're not supposed to be laying on our back giving birth to a child.
Yeah.
Probably standing up in the hut, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Up
giving
against a
birth to,
tree.
Right,
yeah,
the trees, yes.
no
Gosh,
matter.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be outside.
Yeah.
That might be next
Absolutely.
time.
So,
Yeah.
and that's something that I really think about. Like, yo, this is the most natural way to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wheelchair charge at the hospital is just insane. So
That was another
Yeah.
thing is like the finances of like hospitals. Like, there's so many different tangents I could go on about what made me decide this, but like just like the way that the hospital's set up, it's like I don't align with any of it.
Mhm.
Unless it's like an emergency, right? But there were no signs for me going up to this point that I would need that intervention seriously.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. And then just a couple other things too. Like I wanted to finish with some words of encouragement that you can give some women that are listening right now. First time moms that are just dabbling with the idea of a hospital or a home birth, or maybe some words of encouragement too that you can think of that you can give them some advice.
so much. I could
Yeah.
tell them so much.
Yeah.
But I think to the point I made earlier is like, you were designed to do this. Like, God created you to give birth.
Mhm.
And there's so much power and purpose and fulfillment through it all, through all the pain. And I would say use that pain for purpose. Like, every time I got a contraction, I remind myself, this is my body's purpose. My body's taking care of this. I don't have to fix anything. I don't have to think besides to relax. And I would say you were designed to do this and to remind yourself that you can do this. So many women have done this and you will do it too. And your story is yours. So I would also caution the input
Mhm.
up until your birth, because people can either instill fear or people can instill hope and beauty and ease. We actually had like a false alarm. I guess like I had contractions one night. We were not ready, but that was after a night out, and everyone, because I was very pregnant, and everyone was sharing their birth story with me, and all of them were pretty scary. And I think it like did something to me, and I started having contractions, and I was just full of fear. I'm glad nothing happened that night, and I was able to kind of like get my head back on right, because the way you go into it, like your mindset, is so important. And if you are filling your mind with all the positive stories that women have had giving birth naturally and actually enjoying it, like I was laughing, I was having a good time, even though it was almost 3 full days of contractions and giving birth. I was exhausted. But however, like you can still like have radical joy in the midst of it. And if you can tap into that, your birth will be so much fun. Like there were so many things that went like kind of wrong, like, but it was like, that's my story. And I laugh and I love sharing it. So you can do it.
Oh, and Jay, do you have any words that you can share for some men and partners supporting their woman?
yeah, it's not about you. It's definitely not about you. It's not your problem to fix. It's your experience to embrace. Just be present. Be present. be as present as possible because your mind's going to go everywhere. You're going to be thinking about the things. You're going to be thinking about things to do. Quit doing and start being.
Mm.
Like, you don't got to do much, but you do have to be there.
Yeah. Like your presence is enough. Your
Mhm.
presence is the solution.
And that's the most important thing I do. I see it all the time. The dads, so often they just want to do things. And I just tell them, you don't need to do anything.
Mhm.
You just stay right here, stay
Mhm.
present, stay engaged.
Mm.
She needs you to go through this with her.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing, is to do it together. You made the baby together. You need to do this event together,
Yeah.
because in good, healthy relationships, it's so beautiful when you see the woman feed off the energy of her partner. And those are the most beautiful births. I had a really amazing one last summer with a first time mom, and they were in the hospital system until like 30 weeks when they were decided this is not the path for us. But their birth was so, you talk about being very vocal, both of you at during that point, they were definitely that couple. And
Yeah.
it's beautiful because men don't realize how much she needs your presence.
Mhm.
And that's really all it needs to be. You don't need to do anything. And sometimes I've had women who are planning their 6th birth or something. And I'll be like, what's the most important thing for you during this labor to help everyone prepare? She says, I hear it sometimes with women who've had multiple home births. Don't let my husband leave the room.
Mm.
I need him right here by me.
Mhm.
Because the husbands want to be doers. They want to contribute. They want to help. And they want to do. And I just love that that's the very first thing that you said earlier, is that just don't try to fix it. Don't try to take it away. Just be present with her. And that's so beautiful and so perfect. It's so
It
important
is.
that
And
people don't realize. And that's one of those things
Mhm.
too, that women don't realize that's what they need
Yeah.
until they're on the other side.
Right.
And they may not ever realize it until they see or hear about an experience where that was done well.
Yeah.
And then the woman's like, oh, I wish I would have had that.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So thank you so much for emphasizing that, because it is,
Yes.
from a midwife's perspective, the most.
Right.
Mhm.
And if you got the right people around you, you don't got to do much. When you've got the right
Yeah,
people
because we're
around
doing
you.
all the things.
Right.
I'm like, oh, we're getting the drinks. We're doing this.
Mhm.
You just be
Mhm.
here with her. We have all the other things.
Right.
It is your experience to embrace. And I think that's the biggest thing to tell,
Yes.
fathers, is that, like, because we'll look at it and be like, oh snap, dog, this ain't nothing for me. Like, I don't see, and it's foreign, it's scary. It's like, yo, it's impossible for me to do that.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about whenever I got to the point where I was like growling, as you say.
Yeah.
And he started to do it with me. And I remember just feeling so like it almost felt like I had like full permission just to let it all go. Because even at that point, I was kind of like, as the pain ramps up, as it all starts to ramp up, more layers start to drop.
Mhm.
But that was like a moment where I was like, I'm safe to like just be raw, to just let it all go. So you may not have to like growl with your woman, but like
I suggest it.
yeah, it is really nice though, because it just like allows you to just kind of get into that wild, like, here we are. Let's just do whatever it is that I need to do and not try to like contain myself. This is not a moment where I need to contain myself.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Autumn,
Thank
for being
you.
here, and Jay, you as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
and sharing your story. I really hope this touches a lot of women and they are able to share this with their partners as well. Because, yeah, stories like these, matter.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you all
Thank you both.
being here.
You're
for
so
inviting
welcome.
us
Thank
over.
you for
Pleasure.
being here.
Yes. And
Yeah, because
yeah, thank you guys for watching too. And yeah.